Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm starting a new prompt in my beach journal, which is part of the Roxy Journal of Stitchery project that we are all stitching along with. Not sure what prompt it'll be yet because I'm so behind, but I thought I'd quickly show you the journal so far. I've been doing a little bit of tidy up maintenance. My spines had no feature on them. So I ended up putting a piece of calico over the spines and then gluing this crocheted lace on there. I've left that loose because I'm guessing that there'll be something go here and that can then tuck down over it when I'm ready. So those two are done, and also that one in there. And in the process of this little bit of maintenance, I have stitched in my mushroom page. So that's all stitched in and I'm ready to start the next prompt. There's a pin, let's get rid of the pin. So I thought I might come back to here because we have a gap here. I have my piece ready to go. So I thought I'm going to put this to one side because it needs to be stretched out so it can dry. So I thought I'll quickly film that is now in, and I can pop it over to the one side to actually dry and then work on this prompt. And I'm not sure which one I'll do. It'll either be a bird or I go back to the leaves because I haven't done the leaves yet. But anyway, let's get this over to the bench so it can dry properly. All right, guys, won't be a moment. Okay, I'm back. So I decided I'm going to do the autumnal leaves. In my whip around the room to see what I could use, I grabbed my little pile of autumnal coloured doilies. I grabbed this piece here. It was put aside for the Just Because quilt, but it's a little bit sparse, I felt, and I thought maybe I could use that. I also found this guy. He hasn't got a home yet, needs an eye. He hasn't got a home. He's that little hand-pieced bird that I did some time back. It's using a quilt block pattern that's pretty famous out there. You see it a lot on quilts, but instead of quilting it by machine, it's just slow stitched. So I thought, well, you could find a home. I grabbed some fabrics that could be some leaves, some real heavy sorts of fabrics, and then this soft shimmery green. I thought, well, that's some leaves. And then tree trunk, I grabbed my container of trims, and there's all sorts in here. So that's got potential of being something. Who knows? There's a bit of everything in here. All right, so that's where I'm at. Let's see what we can pull together. So let's get our little bird into position. He's a big fellow for a very small page. Do I cut him out or do I leave him on there? That's about the right size. It's a little bit short at the top there, but I'm probably okay with that. So it's got a seam here, so I could undo that seam, but I like that top edge. So I might actually bring him down a little bit. Don't like him being exactly centered. Just bear with me while I sort of think ahead here. I could bring him down and then something goes there. Or do I just try and make it look like he's the right size? Yeah, I might just do that. Can have a little bit of frayed top coming out, a little bit of frayed top. Yeah, that's how we're going to do it. I bring him over a bit. I can't imagine I need to trim the page. But anyway, let's get him pinned. Maybe I'll undo that. See, I'm concerned if I undo it, there'll be a crease. And I think I'd rather have that edge with the ability to tuck in some lace at the top. I don't know what I want to do. think I need to double check the size of this to the journal. Bring him over a bit. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Stitch him down. Little fella, you've finally got a home. He's been rattling around in my pile of bits and bobs for, oh goodness, probably 12 months I did that video. I'll link it below so that if you're new and you're wondering what the hell is that all about. Now we need a tree. What have we got? I'm thinking this rickrack. Oh, goodness me. That's the wrong colour. I'm thinking if we can create some form of tree. I don't know. Does rickrack look like a tree? Not buying it. Let's go to the Hessian box. I much prefer these types of products. Anything else in there? A little bit of that. No, I won't bring in that because the leaves are going to compete with this. If I had that in a neutral that was a little bit browner than that, see, that's too blending. I do love that, but no, it's just gorgeous, but no, I don't think there's anything in there. Let's go to this. And this can be spread as well. A nest'd be cool. If we can get do we go, just bear with me guys as I maybe we get this happening here as this branch of the trunk or a big branch nearby little bird. And then from that we kick off the branches. Yeah, I'm liking that. So let's just make it a bit bigger down the bottom here, so that sort of feels like it would make a bit of sense. And get a bit of movement into it like that, so it doesn't feel like such a lineal straight line. Just fluff you up a little bit. These are just trims that I pick up whenever I see them at the $2 shops, we call them. Just cheap shops. Excuse me, I'm going to need to clear my throat. I'm over the flu. I feel great. I've been doing all sorts of housework and catching up on things, and I feel strong. Just every so often I get this tightness in the chest. That'll go in there. Let's pin it. And then it'll be a case of putting some leaves and flowers under him, over him, around him. Okay. And then let's maybe bring branch off down there. Can cover his tail a little bit or not. Okay. Now I feel like we need something coming out the top. So we've got to have things to put branches on, don't we? Things. Gee, that didn't even make sense. We've got to have branches to put leaves on. Goodness me. And I'd really like some flowers to be around this as well. Okay, we've got something happening here. Now, flowers, let's make a decision on those. They're so big and he's so little, but he was big. I do like the idea of thickening it up with some, and I like those leaves. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pinch out that section. That edge too, I think, could be helpful. It could be a trim that could be used. I won't cut to the edge because I just don't know how much trim I'll need. So let's just sneak this guy out. Okay. Love the colours. It gets that nice autumnal shade. I won't cut too close to this flower. I'm sort of going to allow him to have a bit of an edge so he feels quite grand. I want this to be overemphasised, like this little bird's sitting in a really odd tree, and it's really about the leaves and potentially this flower than the bird, because after all the prompt is actually autumnal leaves, which to be honest doesn't really happen here where I live, but he is very much me and I have lots of birds, so I'm thinking we can do something. Gosh, it even just looks like the sun. Let's now fussy cut out these leaves. The shape of these leaves has just now set the tone for all of the other leaves. I won't worry about those, but I will take you. And we'll have these coming somewhere on the page that makes sense. Maybe that's going to be up there. Okay, so we've got our leaf shape now. Let's have a look at these. To me, that's green is okay. So I sort of want a little bit of lift. This is an old, I don't even know what that is. Like an old cafe curtain. Where can I nibble into it? Oh, here's a tag. Feels like a, yeah, it's like a valance looking thing. Let's just take a piece of this. It's good when you come across these fabrics at the thrift stores. Like when I go to a thrift store, I'm always looking for colours like for leaves and things like that, because I might use that as a template to at least get one leaf similar shape. I'll get my feeling for my leaves. So I'm thinking what I can do is, well, we've got a bit of a gum leaf thing happening here, is we layer in a heap of dark ones and then work back from there. I'm thinking that might be logical. Shape doesn't look right. Isn't it amazing you do the shape that is connected to the piece that's inspired you, and then you go and cut one freeform and it just doesn't feel the same. So we can embroider into these leaves. We could do beading into these leaves. Don't want to cover his tail or the shape of the tail, so I'll bring it back a bit. Even little pieces like this could be additional details. Like so, just to help build continuity. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Now, this here, I really want to see if we can make this work. We'll leave the big leaves for now. Let's have a look at this crazy fabric. I feel like I need more orange. This is like a taffeta or something. I'm not, gosh, I can't remember fabric names anymore. I used to know them all when I was younger because I used to love fabric as a kid. So to go to a fabric store, I just seemed to take in the names of everything. Now, especially the synthetic world, because I sort of grew up in the synthetic world, now it's like, oh, is that a taffeta, or is that just a rayon, or is it a, you know what I mean? Just can't remember. So yeah, I like that. That's just going to give that little pop of bright. Won't be so dowdy. Oh, see, that's why we don't like these fabrics anymore. Look at that. It's just like furry, fray a lot. It's got these little clusters happening. Okay, I like that. Now let's have a look at this orange. And here come the workmen. This should be pretty much their last day, the plasterers. It feels like it has taken months. Well, it has taken months because they sort of do a bit, then they go to a bigger job. And I think I explained that they are technically commercial plasterers. So when they have a lull, they do a little bit of this type of work, you know, domestic work. and it keeps the men, you know, gainfully employed, basically. This is my understanding of it. And here comes Gaz now. He's going to walk through. You want to just close that door? I might bring that down lower. Now I feel like I can connect that better. Yeah, that's better. See, that doesn't feel like it's such a odd bod there now. Yeah, so when they get a big job that they have to go to, they pull them from little jobs like us, and yeah, away they go, which is all good. We knew that was the case. I feel like I need a little bit more orange. Can we do something with this? Sort of make a flower. Do the old pineapple. Pineapple crochet. I'm not even finishing my sentences this morning, guys. I do apologise. Could make some little flowers, little clusters. Don't mind that idea. Some odd little crocheted bits that could just pop in around. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. These just seem too big and bold. I think I've got enough big and bold, and I need to get smaller, more detail. So this type of thing. Alrighty, let's grab needle and thread. This piece should come together reasonably quickly. Those mushrooms seem to take days of stitching. This one's not too bad. Let's have a go at making a little something cluster. I was wondering if there's a smaller version on that doily of that. I don't think there is. So it'd just be another big blob somewhere. So I think I'll just leave it at the one, even though it was bothering me at the beginning. This is going to be a challenge. Stitching frayed crocheted bits together. Need a sneaky knot. Once I master this little guy, it'll be a case of find some thread. I can hear a lawnmower in the distance. We mowed yesterday afternoon, and it's, oh, I love seeing freshly mowed lawn. And then whippersnippered, it's the straight lines, it's the neat edges. I'm sure it's an issue that I have. Just really love it. Oh, you know what I did too? This is another thing this has just annoyed me. I went up to the Maryborough Hospital to visit Dad, and there's just never any parks. Some days are worse than others, and yesterday was a bad day. And I thought, oh, I'm going to attack it from a different street so that at least when I come down the right side of the road, it's where we usually get a park. If I go, I guess, in the opposite direction that everyone would normally go. I think overthinking it. So I turned in the first street instead of driving past the hospital and then taking the turn. So I thought, oh, I'm smart. I'll at least find something. Well, there was just nothing. There was like every park was taken, and there were even nurses with picnic chairs sitting out under trees. I'm thinking, gosh, there must be like a training day or something on. There was just so many people around on the footpath. So anyway, I'm coming down the side where when we've done multiple U-turns, we always seem to get something down this one side of the street. And I was now on that side, and it was full. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I am going to be walking miles to get into this hospital today. which, you know, at the end of the day won't hurt me. Then suddenly I spotted a park and I've reefed the wheel to quickly pull in there because I was sort of nearly past it. So I've reefed the wheel, turned it back straight to park. And next I hear this crunch and I'm thinking, oh no, what have I hit? I couldn't see a wheelie bin. I couldn't see a car. Well, it was a car in front of me, but I certainly hadn't hit that. Then I realised what it was. It was the sound of concrete going down the side of my wheel. Oh, I was so annoyed. So I've hopped out. I'm like, do I look? Do I go and visit Dad and look when I get back? Because this is going to put me in a mood. No, I went around to the side of the car and I've scraped the wheel along this concrete gutter about that much. And it's a black painted wheel. And it did one hang of a mess. Oh, now Fudgy wants to go and see Dad. It is, oh my goodness, talk about, I'm not going to stitch that on. I'm just going to finish it as an element because if I pick that up, all those leaves are going to fall. So yeah, I've hopped out of the car and my wheel is just destroyed. And that's just bugging me so much. So when I got home, Gaz was like, how's Dad? And I said, yeah, no, he's good. But my wheel. So now we're in two minds. Do you get it fixed? Or do you just forget about it? It's just part of a car and you're going to hit a gutter from time to time. I don't know. It's just bugging me. And it's the wheel that I see the moment I go into the garage. It's on the passenger side front. So I see it every time. So we're yet to find out how much a new wheel will cost because I'd say finding someone up here might be tricky. And I believe they can buff them out, like they sand it, buff it out and then paint it. But that sort of sounds like a bit of a Brisbane thing, I'm thinking, of course. So there's my little element. Just taking that little crocheted edge and just very carefully stitching it together. I've left a tail on, so when I'm ready, I can just insert them around the place and they'll just add that little softness that I think the piece is going to be needing, just little bits. All right, now what we might do is see if we can get a few pins in so that I can at least move it to the couch for a little bit of stitching later. It just goes to show the tiniest little bit of fabric and embroidery can create something. I feel like I need some leaves there. Is that up the right way? Or is that upside down? It's upside down. That was a close call. So it's going to change the trajectory of that leaf, but that's okay. We can adjust. I've been thinking about Susanna's panel too. It's the Woodlands. I need to do up a stitched version of it for her retreat that's in March. And I sort of feel like I want to do a heap of leaves. And as I was gathering this, I was thinking about lots of textures with leaves and how I could make that, yeah, that's good, come together. So this is sort of nearly a precursor of potentially that panel, but that's a next year job. Got enough on my plate without starting another project. I'm flat out keeping up with the ones I got, for goodness sakes. Get that idea out. Must do an eye on birdie. I think I've got everything secured. Fudgy. And then these little guys will pop around. So I need to pop that in there. I might put that on my actual pin cushion. Hello, Fudge. Has Dad shut the door in your face? Oh. I'll just keep that little bit. I can see a couple extra leaves in that morsel. All right. I think we've got a plan, guys. My autumnal leaf page is coming together for my little bird. I'll bring it up to the camera so you can have a closer look. Hey, Fudgy. Hey, Fudge, we go sit on the couch and have a little bit of quiet pussycat time? I think so. All right, guys, I'm going to dodge off. Thanks for joining me, and I think we've got something coming along here. So I will catch you in the next video. Bye.